Welcome, Wastelanders. It's the Fallout feed. I'm here with Casey. Casey's a newcomer today. Hi, Casey.
Hello.
And of course, we're here with the old favorite, Andrew. Hi,
Oh,
Andrew.
thank you for having me, Kara. Hello.
Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, such a
I'm
pleasure.
I'm glad you could have me on your show this evening.
And I'm Kara. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to either tweet them to us or send them to our email at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. And of course, there's the Facebook group as well. So today we're just kind of dip a toe into the pool, the very deep, murky, muddy pool that is known as Fahaba.
Fahaba.
Fahaba. So what are your first impressions? Casey, go first.
Well, my first impression is I like how it looks.
Oh yeah.
I like the gloom, kind of
Yeah,
the
that
bluish
atmosphere.
tint of it.
Yeah, it's very, very kind of. I don't know. Got a little bit. Someone asked me, and I'd only been there 5 minutes, and someone asked me, "What is your first initial impression?" And this is probably dumb at first, but to me, it felt like because of the northeast factor, it really does pull off that whole. New England coast thing. I was like, it just feels like a Stephen King thriller is about to happen
Yeah.
right in front of me or something. Like the mist is going to turn and hurt me. And then all of a sudden, the mist turned and hurt me.
Yeah. Mist is always bad.
Yeah.
But the
I
first
don't
thing I noticed was when you're pulling in on the boat, the lanterns had like those ghost type things flying around it, and that looked really nice.
I
hmm
didn't notice a ghost thing.
I think he's referring to like a kind of shift that looks like, ghosts kind of flying through the mist kind of thing,
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
maybe?
like
nice.
different than the mist, but it goes specifically
Yeah.
like around the lanterns.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
didn't even notice. Are there
It's
two types of mist?
sort of. I think what
Nice.
he's referring to is the fog condensers, which I would love to figure out the science behind those things because that's pretty freaking cool.
Can you explain those to me? I don't know if I've run across those yet.
You actually have, if you step foot, even
Just on the island.
yeah,
Okay.
if you went to the hull, which is like the very front of the harbor, and you fought off, the initial
Oh yeah, the,
oncoming
the the
rush.
onslaught of things.
hmm
Are we gonna spoil that? That's so early in the.
It's so
And
early. It's right.
you,
When are you not going to get an onslaught of something or other somewhere?
yeah, no. But
I do
that
want to talk
first
about that
onslaught,
part, though.
I thought they were cool. Sorry, Casey.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I did want to talk about that part because I did do that first mission where you, not to
Oh yeah,
spoil it, but the first time you start shooting,
that that,
basically.
that
Mhm.
can't be a spoiler. It's the very first thing you do.
But I had to
So
restart like 3 times
I did.
because
I got killed a few times.
I didn't die, but I kept turning the people hostile towards me
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
because
sucks.
yeah,
they say look at the fog and they're coming, and then I start shooting the first thing that comes out of the fog, and it
And it's a Haberman.
it's a happening. It was
yeah,
Jordan.
it took me 3 loads to realize I was
Oh
shooting
no.
my own, the people.
Why are they turning and shooting me all of a sudden? That's not very nice.
I almost did the first time. Well, not the first time, but when I first saw something moving through the mist, I was like, "Oh, here! Oh, wait a second! No, that's very humanoid. I'm gonna hold off for a second because, like, I was like, it could be a synth or something, But it turned out to be a Haberman, a group of Haberman actually, and I would say about. Ooh, a little less than half of them survived the onslaught there. For me, I felt so bad because some of them were named, and I was like, ah, shoot, are they supposed to stay alive? Well, I guess not. They wouldn't die if they weren't essential for something.
Well, their own townsmen closed the gate on them, so
Yeah, that's true. They're not essential
Did,
at
didn't
all.
didn't want him that bad.
Well, I mean, they're all encroached on the Mariners' turf anyway, so she's probably just like, you know, whatever.
Oh, guys, I've got my game loaded up here, and I
Uh-huh.
just I just fought a trapper, and
Love those guys.
I I got my first lobster trap helmet.
Aren't those the best?
The first time I saw someone wearing them, I'm like, what?
I know for a second I
What?
was having like Pyramid Head flashbacks.
Yeah, like, what is? It's going on?
Yeah. And then I got up close and I just busted out laughing. It's the best thing I've seen in this game forever. I
Oh,
love
it's so
it.
good. And I've been wondering because I heard about this this trap helmet, and I've been wanting to get it back to my workbench to see if I can get some ballistic weave on it. I highly doubt it because they only let you put ballistic weave on like 3 different hats in the whole damn game. But could you imagine how fun it would be to have ballistic weave on your lobster trap hat?
Oh my gosh. That'd be hilarious. But that actually brings, like, Shailene. Is that how you pronounce her name?
I always say Shailene because I'm from the Midwest,
Yeah.
but I believe that people out west would say Shalene.
Yeah, Shailene instead of Shailene.
Yeah, we
If
say
we're-
Shailene.
We're trying
Yeah.
really hard to pronounce her name right. It's hard when your relationship is pretty much text-based.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was mentioning, what's your favorite hat now? And I assume yours
yeah.
is the
Good
lobster
question.
trap then.
It's got to be, right? Since she said, "What's your new favorite hat?" Oh no, she said like the old, what was it called? The old fisherman's.
Yeah, she's
I'm
partial
assuming.
to the old fisherman hat.
Mhm.
And while I love the lobster trap hat. I love it so much. My favorite is actually the hoods that you can take off of the trappers and stuff, because there's one I found that was a green hood, and I'm totally a Green Arrow fan, so I
Oh,
love
nice.
putting it on my character
Just need
and
to,
pretending like I'm a vigilante.
I just need to find a bow and arrow now.
Yeah, right?
Do you have a hat there that you like, Casey?
Yeah, Casey?
I did put on the old fisherman's hat the first time I
Nice.
found it.
Yeah, I put on the whole get up when I found my first like dead fisher. I don't even know. Maybe I found the outfit somewhere, but it's kind of like just an old timey fisherman guy. And then
Mhm.
I
found
looted
something-
some armor from some of the dead hunters, but I haven't taken off the mechanist armor since I got it. So I haven't.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, I love that one.
It's so 1950s cheesy, but I just love it so much.
So I haven't played with any of the new armors yet.
Yeah, I was just about to look and see if I have them or if I've already gone back once to my mainland to dump stuff, so I probably now I don't have any of my stuff anymore, but I am wearing the mechanist. That's
I'm hoping you
hilarious.
can get one of the settlements pretty early to start storing things, because I'm a hoarder.
Yeah, you actually
believe
kind of sort
so.
of can, especially if you follow through with the side quests in the beginning. I'm not going to spoil which side quest it is, but one of the side quests that are available at the harbor at the very beginning will help you get a settlement. I don't know how many more there will be, and I'm kind of excited to find out. But you can get started pretty quickly just kind of settling down and making a place for yourself.
Yeah, that's good. That's how I play anyway. I almost always exhaust the side quests before I continue on with like a main story mission.
Yeah, I try to do that. Okay, before I was a podcaster, I did that religiously. But now, like I feel like the download content has just not stopped. Like it's an onslaught, and I'm like, oh man, now I have to get through all the main stuff before I can, just play around with all the stuff that I want.
Is it like an assignment now?
Oh, it is. Oh,
It's
poor
a
me.
chore
Yeah.
to play video games.
Oh
There's homework.
gosh.
Now, if only you got paid to do it, then
I enjoy doing this for free, but
yeah,
good
let's
God,
let's
like
keep it
first
as a
world,
hobby, right?
yeah, pretty much first world problems though,
Yeah.
Poor me.
I did find a settlement, and it's the last name of someone from the first harbor town that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Old
Sort of.
Longfellow?
Dalton.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a farm.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about.
I stumbled across it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did discover a good couple of locations here. Have you guys studied the map much? It's huge.
Oh yeah, it is. It's
Except for there's lots of water. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
that does take up a little space there.
Yeah, and for me, it's really frustrating because I am a power armor user. And so there was,
Oh.
yeah, I was fighting trappers at one point, and I fell off of a bridge
Oh
and
no.
into the water, and I sank like a
Yeah.
stone. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Mother, where's you go?" So I was just trying to find my way out of the murk in some way. Like everywhere I went, there was just no way up and out because everywhere was just like sheer drop off. So I had to kind of walk around a small, like, islet, and to just finally get back up and then get
You had to
back to it.
find land somehow.
I did.
I see. If you look at the very southwest corner, there's a tiny little speck of land. There's got to be something awesome there.
Ooh.
There's a whole bunch of ocean, nothing around, and this little tiny speck of land.
Ooh, maybe that's where the synths are.
There's got to be something there, man.
Yeah.
If there's not, leave it to Bethesda to not put anything on that little island, right?
Yeah.
Just to be like, yeah, go out there, guys. We dare you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Casey,
We'll put 50 caps out there for you.
right? Yeah, just 50 freaking caps. So Casey, what mobs have you run into so far?
The first enemy I ran into was a legendary wolf of some sort.
What?
Ooh, lucky
Legendary
you.
off the bat. Hello. Welcome to town.
Welcome to Fahaba.
I think it was a legendary vicious wolf. I'm not sure, but
I don't think I've run into wolves yet.
Oh, I have. They're so
Nice.
pretty. I
Yeah?
mean, they're very murdery, but they're very pretty.
yeah. But the weapon it gave me was called a resilient something or other,
Ooh.
Oh,
it does 150 damage resistance while reloading,
Oh, that's great.
which isn't super useful, I guess, but it could save your ass if you're about to die.
I think so, which can happen really quickly here. Okay, so for me, I feel like it's hit or miss whether or not I trigger like the mire lurks. Like sometimes I will be standing right next to them, and I can see in VATS that they're right there, and they're just like, oh, no, I'm not feeling it. And then sometimes I'll be 50 feet away, and they're like, ah, you take
Go
me
get
off,
'em.
I'm gonna kill you, and then suddenly I'm swarmed, and I just don't know what makes them tick.
Those Mire lurks, I don't know.
But there are super mutants, I know, because I ran away from a bunch of them.
Oh, you found some super mutants.
Yeah.
Nice. I have not. I know
didn't
that there
find
have to be
them right away.
scents here. Well, how did we get to the island in the first place, Casey? What drew us there?
There was a radio signal. It was Nick's assistant saying they need some help.
What's her name? Ellie or something, right?
Yep, Ellie.
Yeah. So I went there. I had to send. I don't know if you have to, but I sent my robot follower home and took Nick because I figured it'd be in the spirit of the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good
Well,
call. I had him. Where is he? I don't see him with me. I better fast travel somewhere to see if I can make him reappear again.
Yeah, I think that if you don't take him with you, you're going to miss out on some like key dialogue. I feel like, there's a
Yeah.
part of me that wants to take McCready with me because I just enjoy
Yeah.
traveling with him.
He's
But
funny.
then, he's the best. But but then, I really like Nick. Like for me, Nick kind of feels like an old comfy blanket. I just enjoy being around him, and walking with that character makes me feel pretty good, and just kind of improves the quality of my experience.
Oh, there he
And
is. I found Nick. He's fighting. Good
Yay!
job, buddy. He's
Good.
up here fighting. He's up here fighting the legendary guy alone, where I'm just still trying to get up to the top of the fucking tower.
You can tell right away because he does know the person who hires us, and they do kind of talk back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have to jog his memory though. Poor guy.
And who is it that hires us?
Oh, I'm not good with remembering names. I don't know.
You don't have to remember their name exactly,
I
but it's
think-
a.
I think it's Nakano. I think
Yeah.
Nakano was their last name.
I knew it was something sort of, I don't know, maybe Japanese sounding, maybe.
I know the daughter is Kasumi,
Kasumi.
and I remember that because that's a character in Mass Effect.
Oh, really? I've always meant to play those games and never got around to it. Everyone says those are the best.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love him so much.
Yeah.
Eh,
So you're looking for Kasumi, I think her name is.
Kasumi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're helping the Nick Valentine Detective Agency. And you can take the case by yourself, again, without taking Nick with you. But evidently Nick's background is fleshed out a lot. And you learn, if he's with you, you gain a lot of insight to his past, evidently. Which I haven't played a lot yet. But I did bring him with me just because I read that in an article.
Yeah, I mean, I have never heard a DLC buzzed about so much as I have this one.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I can't turn anywhere without seeing an advertisement for the Far Harbor, or seeing an article, or seeing someone tweet about it that I've never seen tweet about video games or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is really cool, and props to Bethesda for this, because so far I haven't even really gotten my teeth into this yet, but so far it is just a pleasant experience. And like Casey was mentioning, the atmosphere of the island is fantastic. It's great. It can really creep you out, but for me, I mostly just kind of feel cozy in it, and I don't know why.
It is a little different from. And I heard a lot of people complaining that it's too similar to the mainland, but I see a lot more like variations of pine trees that you don't really get on the mainland.
Or just vegetation in general.
Yeah, the vegetation. Even though this is a more irradiated area, it seems like there's a lot more greenery, a lot more dense forests. But that makes sense, sort of, because the Scents have, if you read the story at all, have taken refuge in a place called Acadia, which made my skin tingle when I first read that, because my family used to vacation in this little beachside community called Bar Harbor when I was a kid, and we would always make the trip up to Acadia National Forest there and go and, was it Thunder Hole or Thunder Canyon, I think it's called? There's this like weird cool place on the ocean where there's this little canyon that the waves come in at a certain angle and crash, and it just sounds like huge claps of thunder every time they hit. It's really cool, but I have very fond memories, but I haven't been to Acadia in so long. But when I just saw the word Acadia flash across the screen, I was like, it made my skin tingle. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
You just picture that place being taken over by synths.
I was like, oh, my childhood has robots all over. God, I would have loved that as a 5-year-old. So I really don't know anything about these Scents. I just know they're finding a refuge. I assume that these are Scents escaped from the Institute who do not want to go back, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like sort of hiding out.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense to me. If you give something, flesh, personality, and independence of thought, it's going to form its own opinion. So I think it's really refreshing that they would include that aspect of sense in the whole thing. I mean, look at Valentine. He's definitely got his own personality, even though he really struggles with the whole, well, technically my personality and my brain are an imprint of some human who's been long dead, so am I really me? Am I really not? And he kind of comes to grips with that, which is definitely not a spoiler. Because that's in the original, his companion quest stuff.
Yeah.
And so to me, I just think it's nice and kind of fleshing out Synths as more of independent creatures rather than tools, which to me just kind of deepens the story overall.
It's making more sympathetic towards the Synths. I've this whole roundtable season, if you've been listening to that, I've had to, kind of think of Synths as just sort of tools, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the first playthrough I did as the railroad, so I was thinking them as, of course, people with that playthrough.
Yeah.
I gotta open up my feelings again because I'm with the Institute, so I got my feelings on lockdown.
Well, I took my main character to Far Harbor, which is 100% Minutemen.
Oh, nice.
So I was wondering if your faction will affect anything in the DLC.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because Minutemen are kind of neutral. I mean, towards the synths, I guess.
Yeah. So I wonder if you showed up as the Institute, if they would, like, I'm sure they wouldn't be automatically hostile because they would want you to have some sort of interaction with them to try to do this or that, of course, like Bethesda always does. But yeah, that's interesting if you go as an Institute member. First of all, how would Nick even be your buddy if you're an Institute guy anyway? Jeez.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. But it'd be interesting. I haven't really dug very deeply into the Institute. Do you find any mention whatsoever about Nick Valentine, the original cop and stuff?
That's a good question. No, I not that I know of, but they should. There should be. Granted, there's 1,000 terminals in the fucking Institute, and I haven't read them all, but there very well could be. That's a great question.
All right, it's time to do some spelunking, some
Yeah.
cave crawling.
I haven't come across it, but my roundtable character was also Institute,
Yeah.
and I really liked that underground
What
part.
I think it looks awesome. Is there much to do though? What do you do when you go to the Institute? I can't find like a lot of fun stuff to do while I'm there because you can't like build or anything, you know?
No, you can't. Yeah, there's not a lot of creation, but they have a store, and you can.
Yeah. Or you can go get food or something, right? I think
There's
a little
gorillas.
cafe. Oh, the gorillas, yeah. Speaking of those, this isn't spoilery at all anymore because it's been so long now, but did anyone get them? Because I saw that there's gorilla cages with the that new Wasteland workshop thing where you can build the cages. There's gorilla cages, so you can evidently catch those guys.
Yeah. that
Anybody
sounds fun.
try that? How do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that? Cause
How do you release those guys and then not kill them? Because I've released them before, but then they try to attack me, you know?
I just assumed that the gorilla cage was just like, oh, it's one of those cages that they use down in the Institute, and here, use it for something else. I wonder if it is a matter of, like, you can catch them.
I have read tale of it online, but, who knows if that's actually true or not. I guess we could go to YouTube and look it up, but we'll figure it out for ourselves. How about that?
Yeah.
I just built 2 Yaguai cages in my fighting pit because that's the only type of bait I had on me at the time.
Was it Radstag? Is that correct?
I don't remember, but I'm really low on whatever kind of bait you need for the other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one trouble I had immediately upon opening up the Wasteland Workshop thing I wanted to trap dogs because I just wanted to have lots of puppy dogs running around, and canned dog food is kind of hard to come across. It seems like a lot of the stuff they make it not the easiest thing on earth to find. Like, they don't let you use, in order to catch a cat, they don't let you use, Mirelurk meat, which is abundant and all over the damn place. They make you use the soft shell, which is, slightly more, rare. It's not rare, but you know what I mean. Harder to find.
Specific.
Yeah, more specific. They could have been a little easier with those baits, if you ask me.
Well, I guess they just want to make you work for it, which makes
They always do. Ugh.
doing it that much sweeter, because one day my cat empire will be complete, and one day your dog empire will be complete.
I've got 4 now. How many cats are you up to?
2.
2. Come on, kitties. Stick around, kitty.
Do they stay in your settlement? Or do they just run off?
I haven't really often checked with the cats, actually. So I don't know.
I set up
would
5
assume
dog houses in a row, and they all just chill. They're all like sitting in there. And one of the dogs came with welding goggles on. I was like, oh, that's so awesome.
Oh, that is so neat.
He showed up. Because you can't interact with these animals. You can't equip. Because I was collecting all my dog armor and everything. I was like, sweet, I'm going to have a dog frickin' army. And you can't equip anything on them. But some of them do show up with stuff already on, which is fun. So
Yeah. I wonder if, okay, so dog houses, it makes sense that if you have a dog house, the dog will stay. So I wonder if for cats...
Is there a cat house?
There's a cat bowl. There is a specific cat bowl.
Huh.
So maybe if I get those or build those or something.
How about you put a comfy pillow down?
Right?
And then the cat bowl. And a bottle of milk. Cat trap.
Cat trap. Oh man. Okay, speaking of cats, at that one place where the on Far Harbor, where I fell off the bridge and then was stuck in the water trying to find a way out forever. When I went back and I finished clearing out the place, I found that they had killed a cat. And I was so sad. So
Oh,
I had to give the poor thing a burial at sea.
oh, that's good. Did
Yeah,
you did you put it on like a little boat and set it on fire? Give it the Viking funeral or whatever that's called.
I really tried, but the
The
finger.
mechanics of the game don't allow that. So.
Yeah, plus I was still in that power suit, so it was really hard to light
Yeah.
a fire.
Hey, speaking of sinking in power armor, have you guys ever gotten Krem's tooth from Dunwich Boars?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
There, were you in power armor the first time you tried to get it?
No, I don't wear power armor too often.
Yeah, I almost never do, but I was in power armor, and the thing, Kara, is at this place called Dunwich Boars, there's this awesome melee weapon. I always mispronounce that word. Is it melee? How do you say that word,
Some
guys?
people say melee. I prefer
Melee?
melee.
Yeah, I've always heard melee in my head, at least.
Me
So.
too. I've heard it both ways, and every time
No.
someone makes fun of me for saying it my way, I just make fun of them
Yeah.
right back for saying it their
You'd be
way.
dumb. We're in the Midwest. We talk right. But
Yeah.
there's this great melee weapon down at the bottom of this shaft. It's a well that's full of water, and you can't swim in power armor. So if you drop down that shaft in power armor, you lose that set of power armor because you can't swim up, and there's no pathway out of the shaft well down. So you go down there and you can pick up the weapon, then you're like, oh crap, I
Oh
can't go anywhere. So you have to get out of the power armor and then swim back up. But
terrible.
we got an email from Gerald Rittenauer. Well, Rittenauer, that's awesome. That's my mom's maiden name is Rittenauer. Crazy. Gerald, we might be family, brother. But he's got a question about Dunwich Boars. It says Dunwich Boars, question mark, question mark, question mark. So you know this is very big deal here. So help me out with this, Casey, since you've been through here before.
Yeah, sure.
It says, my name is Jerry, and I got a question about a location, Dunwich Boars. I've been making my way through the place, and I don't know what is going on. It sounds like a giant monster is in there, and it's just creepy. You keep turning on all these lights because all you find is holotapes and the visual audio evidence stating that that you will be safe in light over and over. And every once in a while, as you're going down the mine, you will turn on a light and you'll have a couple seconds of flashback from before the bombs fell in the real world. It is real weird, and I was hoping someone has explored this location and can fill me in on what the fuck is going on in there. I haven't been the whole way through yet, and it's a large well. I love the show, and keep up the great work. And yes, I love Nordhagen Beach as well. Good time, share the investment. Thanks. Shalom. Oh, shalom. Are you from Israel? Thank you, Gerald, for writing into the show. That's awesome. Big shout out. Do you know anything about Dunwich Boars and what's going on with the flashbacks and what this monster sound could be, Casey? Do you have any ideas?
I can't explain why there are flashbacks, but I was very confused going down there. The first time I went down there is because I was looking up where the last few bobbleheads I hadn't gotten were,
Oh.
and one of them is down there.
Do you remember which one? It's probably the melee one, since that melee weapon's down there, don't you think? Maybe not. I don't know.
That would make sense.
I'm
sure.
really good at thinking that I scour every inch of every place, and then come out and go do my round table show, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, you picked up, you didn't mention that bobblehead in there." Andrew's like, "Oh, because I didn't pick it up because I'm an idiot and didn't scour everything like I think I did."
It's kind of easy to miss, but I did it backwards. The first time I went down there, I started fighting the people, and then I kind of got scared because the lights were flashing, and I just ran all the way to the end, skipping everybody.
Oh, nice.
So I got the weapon, I got the bobblehead down there. The flashbacks, I kind of just ran through them. I don't think I really watched them. because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if I had
It's
to like,
very confusing, isn't it?
but getting out of there was very hard because I had to fight my way back
Oh
up.
yeah, if you don't kill those guys, there's tons of guys going through there too.
So I had to
You got to
fight
kill them on
going
the way
out
out.
instead of
Yeah,
going in.
that's worse.
But yeah, there's like by the hole where you get the knife, there's like 3 or 4 named characters that I guess you can read about them in the computers maybe, but
hmm
they've turned into ghouls and they attack you.
Oh, nice.
So that's a pretty cool fight because you get attacked by 3 or 4 named ghouls all at once.
Yeah, and right there, right above Dunwich Boars, there's a little weird little concrete building that has super high radioactivity in it if you've gotten back in there, and there's like a little weird bed and stuff too. I was curious about that little location too. It's very strange location, all that Dunwich Boars. And that's evidently ugh, I'm not literary enough. I'm an idiot, guys. What is Dunwich Boars a reference to?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I forget.
I
I'm so dumb.
I don't know. I
I
read,
shouldn't have
but
brought it up. I just pointed out how dumb I am.
well, and how
What's the knife called? Something tooth?
Krem's tooth, but it's spelled like Krevmh or something like that. It's really weird spelling, but anything that anyone I've heard pronounce it, they've been saying Krem's or Krems.
With
So
my melee character, with my roundtable character with the level 5 big leagues perks, it is
ooh.
by far my most powerful melee weapon, though.
Yeah, I'm not positive, but I think it is at least one of the more powerful ones in the game. Plus, it has an extra effect, poison damage or something, right? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks when you stab someone, it looks like they get like spider webs on them or something.
Yeah. That's that poison effect. That's cool. Yeah. That's great.
But yeah, it's hard to get down there because there's fighting up top too in the quarry, but
hmm
it's a good weapon if you're going to be a melee character.
Yeah, that's good. So thanks again, Jerry, for writing in.
Well, the answer to his question is we have no idea about the
Yeah, we have no
flashback.
idea what the fuck is going on there.
but
The flashbacks are just weird.
yeah, he just gave us something really great to kind of chew on and maybe go back and explore again.
Yeah, that's a good call. And you could go there,
I could
Kara.
go there. Yeah.
You definitely need to check out that weapon. It's really neat looking too. It's not a normal looking sword. They gave it a cool sort of skin or whatever that's called.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very nice. Even though in Skyrim they gave you nice weapon displays and everything, and it would be nice if you could display this beautiful looking
Mm-hmm.
instrument of death in your home, but they don't make it easy to do.
Yeah, you were mentioning that, weren't you, for like the power
I've
suits
been
and
bitching about that forever.
the
One note tape over here. I need to.
Aw. So I do want to jump back to Far Harbor really quick and say
Yes, by all
my
means.
my absolute favorite new mob is the hermit crab, which is more appropriately should be called like the hoarder crab because okay, these things come in many shapes and sizes, or maybe just 2 shapes and sizes. I'm not sure yet, but the one that I killed um, was in this giant bus. This was,
Nice.
this was a
That's great.
big one, and didn't go down easy, but still was a fair fight. And then once it was done, I looked on the body, and there was inventory for days on there.
Really?
And once I took everything, it was like you're carrying too much, and you need to go home and do something about that. And I
Your
was like,
legs are
oh.
literally being crushed.
So that's
Oh,
probably my favorite. You don't get too much experience points from it, but you do get a lot of inventory from it, which is great because once you're at Far Harbor, you really need to start building back up your stores again because you have no materials to build from when
yeah.
you
How
start off.
how are you dealing with that? Once you get further into the game, do you think, or into the island, do you think you will try to establish a settlement there that you will operate from, or do you think you'll sort of go back and forth more to the mainland to keep dumping stuff at home, or are you going to set up a remote sort of point of operations?
Probably a remote point, in all honesty. Although I do want to remind any listeners that they do need to go back and visit their original settlements often
Oh yeah,
and pay attention to those notifications that, like Red Rocket is under attack or Oberlin Station's under attack. Go help them. You
yeah,
need to pay attention to that because sometimes I've heard people say sometimes when they go back and they weren't paying attention, their settlements are just wiped out.
yeah. Everyone's dead.
I would
Yeah.
have
I
totally forgot about that.
yeah, I have a character. The one I'm playing with now in Far Harbor is my first character who just doesn't do that. She
So you're
just does.
set.
She doesn't. She just doesn't care about the settlements. She's a railroad, not Minutemen. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
They need to be independent to a degree. Like you build.
they have to be sufficient. You
Yeah.
gave them
You
defenses.
gave them defenses. You gave them weapons. They need to take care of themselves too.
They should have you train them with weapons too.
That would be a nice little
If you're higher
add-on.
level, yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd
There's
be-
a good mod for you guys, you modders out there. Hey, when are mods coming to consoles? That's soon, right?
Yeah, that's pretty soon. I know that they're still in testing right now, probably working out a few final bugs and stuff.
I haven't ever gotten a beta invite. I feel super sad, guys. I'm left out of the loop.
Do you feel
Did you
jilted?
sign up? Did you sign up to try to get them?
No, I didn't
No.
sign up.
Casey,
No.
are you a beta seeker?
No.
No, I tried. I didn't. I know Michael got one for one of the DLCs.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember if it was Automatron or Wasteland Workshop, but
I think it was the workshop.
nice, yeah.
I
I've
think.
never modded anything or played a mod, or I play everything on PS4. So I don't.
But you will be able to soon.
Yeah,
You gotta
Have you-
build your display case mod.
Yeah, it exists. It has to exist already. I'm sure that was one of the first things they did.
Now,
And
if
it's like naked people and display cases. Those are always
see,
the first two mods.
but if you guys were part of the PC Master Race, then you
Oh.
would already have mods.
Yeah, what mods do you rock?
None.
None. You play a vanilla game. The PC
Vanilla.
Master Race.
Well, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I want to try. I don't really want to deal with all that muckety muck, though.
Are you all a computer person? Do you have like a solid state drive and all that? And your
I
load
actually
screens are
do.
like 4 seconds.
No, they are not. I do have a
okay.
solid state drive, but the thing is, and there are a lot of people who will cringe and probably throw tomatoes at their iPhones or something like that when they hear this, but I don't play off of a desktop, I play off of a laptop. So
I
that's
think
part of
Victor
my
plays
problem.
from a laptop, and he's our big PC gaming modder guy.
You
I
can
think
get
he does
some-
most of his stuff from a laptop. I don't know if that's something
Yeah.
to be ashamed of.
Well, you can do a lot of really nice things, but you can't. It's not perfect unless it's on a desktop, guys. And it's just.
Are,
I better stop that.
are you
That's
trying to
probably-
alienate our brethren?
You mean my brethren? Like I don't know. I just can't get down with the console thing. I just can't.
I would be lost on a keyboard and mouse. I just don't know if I'd be able to do it. I haven't played a game on a keyboard and mouse since Apple IIe, and there wasn't even a mouse on that one. It's just
Yeah. Even if I played on the PC, I would still use a controller probably.
yeah. I would see if I could how do I plug this Xbox controller in here?
See, I'm just terrible with the controller. I am so bad, which is completely different from my growing up because I was totally console growing up, but then
Yeah.
after a while, I just kind of quit playing console games, eventually sold my remaining consoles, and then one day finally got back into gaming, but it was on my PC, and now anytime I get on, even if I get on a friend's Wii U, I am terrible.
I've never even touched a Wii U yet.
Oh, there's some really fun games on there, though.
Oh, that Mario Creator looks great.
That's fun. That's the only game I've played, I think.
Oh, it looks so fun. I love those Mario games. The one for Wii was great. Just normal old Mario Brothers, just
Yeah.
side-scrolling, classic fun action. I love that. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I tell you what, though, in the new Mario Party, you can really dick your friends over. You
Oh yeah.
can, because one of the players can choose to play as Bowser,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
and the whole goal is to just completely dick your friends
I
over.
I was shocked to see that they're at like Mario Party 15 or something now. Like
It's a high number.
they stopped using numbers. They've used so many now. I like the last one I played I think was Mario Party 3 or something. It's been a long time.
Uh,
So have you messed with survival mode at all yet, Casey, for Fallout 4?
No, I did create a character, and I did make it out of the vault, but I just
Nice.
ran to the cellar.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know. I did the exact same thing because that's the only that I knew there was a bed there.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I stored all my stuff down there and I slept, and that's as far as I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's weird how, and I didn't know this until I was watching you do your playthrough, Andrew, where when you're in the vault, they won't let you sleep. You can't sleep in there to save initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that bed and I was like, sweet, get a quick
Yeah.
save here. Like, nope, this bed is owned by this dead skeleton.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
you
like,
can't
no.
sleep here now. What are you, crazy?
But I lucked out compared to any other Twitch stream that we've seen. And we need to mention our Twitch stuff because we've done lots of awesome streaming recently. But I've seen lots of people do. We were doing a Dead is Dead sort of challenge with our survival mode, like where you die and that's kind of the end of that character. But we've later established that you don't really have to do like kill off the character. I think some people were doing permadeath. I know Michael is into that sort of thing, so he'll totally do that. But
I'm gonna kill off my character.
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
At
That's
least the
great.
first one.
Yeah. Do you Twitch at all, Casey?
No,
you
I haven't-
stream?
no.
Can you do that from PS4? I assume it's possible, right?
You can. I
Okay.
haven't. I watch YouTube videos, not of gameplay, but like Fallout 4 top 5 hidden
Yeah,
weapons
I've
or
seen
something.
a bunch of those too. Yeah, those
I'll
are
watch
great.
those, but I've never watched like a Twitch channel or anything.
Yeah. Well, I'd never have either, but recently we've put together twitch.tv/ASA podcasting, and we've kind of given the access to a few of the people around our little ASA podcasting network. So Kara's done some playthroughs on Twitch, and Victor's done some, and I've done a couple, and Michael's done some, and it's been cool to watch everyone play.
Yeah, I would watch people I know or
Yeah.
I'm aware of. I wouldn't watch maybe strangers though.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that either. But the great thing about Twitch is, if you guys are unfamiliar, is you get to sit there and chat with the person who's playing, and then they can talk to you, and you can just chat back. You type, and they can. It's kind of scrolls down their screen, and but that's really fun because, like, if Victor's playing, I can sit there and then harass him about all the different things that he's doing.
You
Like
mean
in the same
support
room.
him?
Yeah, I support him. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
sorry,
mean
sorry,
support
not
him,
harass, not
and-
harass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but the thing is, there is a 20-second delay from whenever you say or do anything, and then the audience might respond.
Yeah, that's weird. That it's not
Yeah.
more
Well,
in time.
It kind of sort of makes some sense in terms of, like, video buffering and all that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I guess the technology's just not there, and probably the internet isn't there yet for like in-home internet service or something.
Yeah, yeah. I just got a new sort of thing to try. I'm down in the basement here, and of course I'm on wireless, but I got a power line adapter kit. So evidently you can plug this thing into your power adapter upstairs and plug your modem and router into it via Ethernet cable, and then it sends your internet signal through the power lines of your house.
Wow.
And then I can plug it into my basement and then run an Ethernet cable from that box to my Xbox to have a wired instead of wireless signal. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're very useful.
Yeah, I haven't set it up yet, but I'm excited to do that because when I was streaming, I was getting a little bit of lagging and stuff, and I know that's annoying. So
You're going to have to let us know if you see a significant difference.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I was lagging. I don't want to say I was lagging a lot, but at least once per session, I was getting a couple minutes of sort of choppy lagging. So, well, hopefully that'll remedy that. But yeah, I've been having a good time with survival mode. I've done about 3 or 4 play sessions. How I did it was I, much like Casey, went and slept in the storm cellar there in
Yeah.
Sanctuary, and then I leveled up my character. I demolished everything, absolutely everything in town that I could. I did not broadcast this one, just the building video, because that would have been boring to watch me just
Yeah.
to tear everything down all over Sanctuary and then build my character up to level 5. I made that level goal before I would go out and do anything, and that's about where I am right now. Codsworth has sent me to Concord, and I snuck into Concord, picked up that laser rifle at the foot of the whatever, is that some sort of museum, right? The
I
History
want to call
Museum
it.
or Liberty
Yeah.
Freedom Museum,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
That's it. Yeah.
And I snuck right back out of town. I didn't even do anything. I was scared I was going to wake up the Deathclaw. I remember exactly where it spawned from, but I was like, I kept looking down the block like, oh my God, it's not there, is it?
It
And
spawns.
look down the other street. Holy shit, it's not down there, is it? Because I was just going to run, because I know they're faster than me, so what are you going to do? In survival mode, death is dead. You know, dead is dead, survival
Yeah.
mode. Well, against
Dead
a Deathclaw, is it possible to kill him? Ugh.
I wrote down to ask you that same question with my Dead is Dead character. I was like, what should I do first? Because I don't want to die to that Deathclaw at like level 2.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can take my suggestion and build some stuff to get yourself
Yeah.
leveled up a little bit. What I did is I went to Abernathy Farm as well and got there sort of because I wanted to establish. I can't really do the trade line things, but I wanted to get another group of settlers and stuff on my side. So I went down to Abernathy Farm because it was the closest one, and they sent me off to a place to go get their daughter's locket or something. I think she was kidnapped and murdered or something, and they have a locket that is holds some sentimental value, so the family would appreciate the artifact back, and you have to go get it. But evidently, I was headed that way, and Victor told me when he was watching my Twitch feed, said, "Oh, wait a second, buddy. They have someone at the end there who has power armor and a minigun.
Yes.
So you might want to hang back at level 4 if you want to. Your dead is dead." And also, I just went down the west side of the map, and there is not much down the west side of the map there. I was up along the edge where it kept saying, "You cannot go this way. You cannot go this way. You cannot go this way." I was going all the way down. I got about halfway down the map, and I didn't really see a lot of stuff. And Victor was like, "You are very brash. You are going way too far for a survival mode character." And I didn't know what I was doing. I crouched the whole time and was just sneaking, just walking. And I didn't realize how far I had gotten away from home. And then I realized, oh shit, I can't save or anything.
And you can't fast travel.
You can't fast travel. So I'm just out there. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just follow the power lines back. And Victor's like, there's 2 bands of raiders on either side of Abernathy Farm along those power lines. How Victor knows where everything is, I'm amazed at, first of all. But
Well, doesn't he have like 10,000 characters?
yeah, he starts lots of characters.
Exactly,
And
so
plays lots of different scenarios.
Yeah, so he's done the same areas several different times, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably why he
Yeah.
remembers more.
I'm just going to go full stamina, I think, to run away from everything.
Yeah.
I went endurance because that's hit points or health points, whatever they're called, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I maxed out endurance and then agility
Yeah.
and perception as high as it would go. I couldn't max all 3 of those out, I don't think, but perception for VATS because I knew that I would just be spamming the hell out of VATS
Yeah.
to keep things from charging me. I'm so scared. I haven't seen one yet, but I can just hear it in my head already. The suicider.
Oh
super
yeah.
mutants.
Beep beep.
Oh, yes.
Beep, beep. I want to run. run.
Yeah, because if you don't see them right away, you gotta like look around and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Casey and I were talking about playing with headphones before we started the show, and if you play with, I just started playing with headphones, and you can really get directional sounds in this game and like actually tell where things are coming from. So it's really cool to get the the suicide or mutant guys. It's like you're like, oh, it's off to the left, run to the right.
Yeah. And I turned the music setting down to like 2 also.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
can
The game.
up the sound effects, and down the music a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of music, off in Far Harbor, I heard some people complaining that, wait a second, we're off hundreds of miles away. Why are we still picking up radio stations from Boston?
The power of population and perseverance.
And I was about to say, have you ever been to New England? Those are the only radio stations you get are from Boston.
Ah.
Now, I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I do remember in Maine you could pick up stations from Boston because they're huge radio stations. Or
There's
whatever.
also not a lot of interference in the air, I should think, anymore. Man, I sound so stupid right now. I know. I know what I'm thinking about, but I can't talk good. I think that there are fewer buffers or barriers for some of the signals to go through.
Mhm.
But there is a lot of validity to that. Like, I think it would also make sense if the channels came in like less clear.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, instead or
Well-
definitely like less clear in certain spots. But you could say the same thing about the whole area of the Commonwealth too.
That's true. At the outskirts, it should be a little less clear. That would be cool to get some static every once in a while, or
Yeah.
crossover different signals with another radio stations from like Rhode Island or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, but gosh, what was I just about to say about Far Harbor? I forgot.
I can say I'm looking at the creature list, and there's a rad rabbit that looks awesome.
A rabbit.
Yes, I saw those. I was like, they're so cute. I wonder. I
Oh,
did
man.
not dare get close to them though, because I was like, okay, if these things just start. Okay, you know the Monty Python
Oh,
Quest for the Holy Grail.
the holy hand grenade.
I was just picturing the rabbit.
He had teeth like this.
Yeah. If they start flying, I'm running away.
But my first immediate reaction when you said there's rabbits is, oh man, I want to get a settlement established and build some rabbit traps.
Yes.
Can you get some irradiated carrots or something?
Rabbit Kingdom. Hey, can you trap like a rad stag and tame that?
Yes.
Ooh.
My system I have set up is that I wanted dog, so I of course had to go find a bunch of canned dog food. But I also wanted a bunch of the Yao Guais. I like the bears running around the property because, and I just noticed this, I didn't notice this beforehand, but each bear that you have on your property provides, and they're under your control, of course. You can't have wild ones, guys, come on. But each bear that you have under your control on property provides an extra 7 defense.
Nice.
So I have like 4 bears running around, so that's like an extra 28 points of defense that I have at my settlement, so that's cool. So I wanted the bears, but I wanted to keep getting them, and I didn't want to run into the problem that I have with the canned dog food, in that it is a resource that you kind of have to go out and find, or go to Diamond City, and there's a guy there who sells it most of the time. But it's a kind of a slog to go get. It's kind of annoying. So I wanted a resource, a self-replenishing resource to get my bear traps going. And they are equipped with radstag meat. So, in order to have a replenishing source, I set up radstag traps. So I have a bunch of radstag running around my property as well. And when I need to catch more bears, I just go shoot one's head off and then harvest its meat, load up a trap, and drag the carcass into the water.
So the rad stags don't give you any benefits at all, other than the obvious. Of, like,
Well, no, I just, they don't give you any defense or anything that I know of. I haven't really looked at them. I just happened to notice the bears give you defense because I was in build mode running around and happened to highlight a bear and showed the shield with a +7. I'm like, wait a second, what? So like I haven't actually thought to highlight each animal to see what their benefits would be. That's a good call.
I'm gonna
I don't.
highlight a cat.
Yeah, see if it gives you any sort of. I bet you. You know what? I bet you the cats give you. I bet you it gives you happiness. I bet you it makes your settlers. You know,
Or
if you put up pictures on the wall and provide them with cats and dogs and stuff, I think that will increase their happiness. I bet.
either that or it'll be like -10 respect for how many cats I have crawling all over the place.
Yeah, there's a certain point. There's a threshold with cats. Come on.
But did you mention that you get attacked a lot more now that you have those tame animals running around?
Yes. I don't know. I did not mention that, Casey. Do you have
thought so,
you have
wait.
stuff trapped up?
No, I think maybe
Yeah.
on an old podcast I thought someone
Yeah,
mentioned.
no, okay, yes, I have mentioned it on past podcasts. The drawback of having those animals trapped on your property is that that specific type of animal will start attacking you more often now. So I have gotten attacked by a band of Yao Guais and Mirelurks, and when the Mirelurks attack, they bring the crowd. They bring the king. They didn't bring the queen, thank God, but they brought a couple of kings and all of the different variations all the way down.
Wow.
And there was like 14 of them that attacked us at once. It was ridiculous. And then you have all the carcasses laying around that you got to do something with, and some of them are too heavy to move.
Yeah.
And Juan suggested that you take your shotgun, blow everything apart, and then move the little itty bitty bits.
Okay,
So that's
now
easier.
I remember this conversation. Now I remember.
Yes.
That's too much work.
Exactly. I never even tried. They disappear eventually, I found out. So
Yeah.
that's good.
It takes a while for the despawning process, which I think is kind of neat. And sometimes it just frustrates me, though.
Explain that. The despawning. Yeah.
Yeah.
To when they go away at the end. That's despawning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does take a long time. I remember right when we started the podcast months and months ago, Jack was saying that he had killed a couple people right outside of his doorstep, and like a month later in game, the body parts were still scattered across his doorstep. He's like, "When are they going away? This is gross now. Come on."
It's just kind of like Juan suggested, where it's like, well, you have the push broom. Why can't you just push some things out of the way? In that case, it would be a lot easier to clean
Yeah,
up
no,
the push
that's a
broom.
great call. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have dish rags and stuff. I mean, you have and turpentine. You can clean. Well,
Well,
maybe.
you've
I don't know.
got
You
like
can.
little bits of drips and drabs of turpentine. I wouldn't waste it on that. I'd
Yeah.
spend it on something else. Yeah, cleanliness is not like the highest priority. Sorry, Juan.
Oh, come on.
I'm almost there with you, but there's a limit for me. Oh man. Oh, I wonder what it takes to trap the wolves on Far Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
Or if that's even possible.
That's something I'm very interested in. Maybe I'll go up to that settlement that I found and see if I can get them on my side to see if I can build stuff.
Neat.
Yeah, you just have to go into the settlement building tool.
Yeah.
And see if there's
But I have
anything.
to, they make you do a favor or something first before they'll be your friend.
Yeah.
Let them access your. I didn't even look around. I should look around and make sure there's a workbench at that site.
There is.
There is. Nice. Have you already done? Did they make you go do something? Have you already done that?
I went there to complete the quest that goes with that area. If it's the same area we're thinking of, and I think it is, the Dalton farm, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
then
what I'm
it
talking
is.
about.
Yeah, it is the same area we're thinking about. But when I went to go search the workbench, it was like, you can't do anything here until you clear out the fog. And I was like, well, how do I clear out the fog? And that's how I learned a little bit more about the fog condensers, which we mentioned
okay.
earlier in this podcast, which somehow magically but actually scientifically suck the fog in. And they look like regular lampposts, but at the bottom they've got these jugs into which condensed fog is dripping. And it's a collectible thing. Like you can collect the condensed fog, and I don't know what you can
Concentrated
use it.
evil.
Yes. But and that reminds me of other things. Like there's this little mushroomy type growth called blight. All
Yeah,
around.
I've seen blight a few times. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
that do
it's-
for you?
I
Can
have
you
no
cook
idea.
and stuff? I haven't even tried.
You can. There is a stove, but I haven't didn't really look too carefully. I haven't seen a chemistry
Ooh, I
uh,
just got to the property.
station.
There's the workshop. You
Yeah,
can't use this workshop until it flashed away. So what did it say?
until you clear the
Until the
fog.
fog is cleared.
Yeah,
All right, so I got to go ask around about that.
yeah.
I'm assuming.
I don't know. Maybe talk to Cassie back at the harbor or something.
Nice.
Is her name Cassie or Connie? I can't remember. Do you remember Casey?
No.
Casey.
Yeah. As soon as it was out of my mouth, I was like, oh.
I was reading though it's the condensed fog. It says that you can use it to create different sludge-based chems.
Ooh.
Sludge based.
It
Yum.
doesn't say anything more than that.
I bet that goes down smooth.
Oh, so that's cool. So I haven't done a lot of chem construction, but that means they've probably added a new wing of chem production
Oh, yeah.
then, right?
Yeah.
What else have they added for Far Harbor specifically that you guys have seen to the game mechanics and stuff like that?
Have you cooked any of the critters? Because they give some amazing stats with some
Oh,
of their
I have
stuff.
not. Oh, but
Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
happened upon the carcass of a. Have you guys run across a fog crawler yet?
I've heard. Oh, yeah, the fog crawlers are like those praying mantis / lobster things, right?
Yeah. It's a bullet sponge, I think, is what they should be called.
Yeah, it does. They absorb a lot of
They
abuse.
do. No, but yeah. Where is the stove? You're saying is it back at the what is that harbor town called? It's not called Harbor Town. What was the original?
Just a Far Harbor, I think.
Is it really called Far Harbor?
I think. I don't
Far
know.
Harbor. It is. You're right. It's called Far Harbor. Interesting.
There you go. I was about to say you're in game. Look at the map. I don't
I
know.
am. And it's cool. It's very similar if you haven't played yet. That much like Solstheim was to Skyrim, there's just like a little icon that says the Commonwealth, and you click on that, and it'll fast travel you back to.
Mm-hmm.
I assume the farm the family
Yep.
hired you from. I assume that's where it takes you back to.
Yep, right on the dock.
Yeah, very nice. And it looks like a sort of a topographical map a little bit. If you look at the map of Far Harbor, there's I was thinking that was elevation, but I bet you what it actually is radiation, right?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Is it a radiation map? Because it gets lighter the further in island that you go, where the fog would most likely be. Oh, you think the fog would be thicker near the water, though, wouldn't you?
Well, it depends on what kind of fog this is.
Well, yeah, this is
to me, it doesn't seem
super
to be
radiation
acting.
evil fog.
Well, see, part of the whole deal with this thing that you're going through here is that there are several different factions at Far Harbor, and one of the factions is blaming the other faction for the fact that the fog has gotten worse over the years, and it coincides with when you guys got here, so we need to kill all of you. And they're like, no, you're the ones who
And
need to die.
I don't think you have to
because
speak
you're
in generalities here. I think it was in the trailer and stuff, the different factions that they listed. So it was the Sense, of course, is one of the factions here, and then you have the people of Far Harbor, the Harbormen is a faction,
Yeah,
and then our third faction are our good buddies,
the children of
the
Adam.
children of
I
Adam.
hate them.
By hate you mean love, right?
I have Hancock as a
like-
follower, and I have him in some Children of Adam clothing. He looks so silly.
You're saying, Casey?
They're always by like cool towers and stuff I want to explore, but they always drive me away.
Yeah, they have crazy weapons. Is it plasma or no? Not plasma.
No,
What do they use? Gamma
gamma.
or something? Yeah,
And it irradiates you and so on and so forth.
yeah.
So I wonder, do they suffer damage when you use gamma stuff on them? I just
They probably thank you for it, right?
probably, yeah, probably. They come up and they shake your hand and they're
Yeah.
like, "You're an all right guy."
All right. Okay. Well, I'm back at Far Harbor now. Let's see. I was gonna see if I could cook something here.
Yeah, the crawler gives you.
Oh, if you've got it pulled up, then I don't even need to cook. Shit. Tell us what
Oh, I'm
the.
just doing it off the top of my head, and I think
Oh God, you're that good.
I am not. The I think the crawler is when you cook it, it gives you like benefits when it's rainy and or foggy. And I
Oh,
think it's like
well,
less like increased AP and decreased limb damage from falls or something. It seemed a bit odd to me, which is why it kind of stuck in my head, especially because of the condition, like only when it's rainy or foggy. And that's pretty cool. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what the others do because I've got a couple of, I mean, in that whole debacle with like the young gulpers and the, um, gosh, what else was there? Did some Mirelurk show up at the hull breach or not? What all showed up? Trappers? No, hunters.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've run into both trappers and hunters, I believe.
yeah.
Trappers seem like intense raiders.
And crazy, crazy raiders, like
Yeah,
addled raiders.
yeah.
And they each have their own unique armor, which I like.
Yeah.
I've picked up. I've only played for like 2 hours, but I've picked up at least 6 or 7 different individual pieces of armor.
Wow,
Mhm.
nice.
So I like the new items at least.
Yeah, I ran across this one though that looked like he was a hockey player.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, because the armor that he put together looked kind of like it was pieced together from hermit crab stuff, so or just giant crab in general stuff. So it just he looked like a hockey player with those giant pads on his arms and his legs, especially the legs. And I just thought that was a really cool, completely different look from the mainland, which makes sense because it's supposed to be much more harsh in Far Harbor in some ways.
Hmm.
One
Well,
of
oh, sorry, go ahead, Casey.
I was gonna say one of the complaints I heard from some people who I don't know, but were saying that the radiation is like a pain in the ass. But I was running around and it was pretty low leveled for me. It was it felt realistic to like the fog, so I didn't
Yeah.
have a problem with that.
How does it feel in comparison to um, the glowing sea?
Oh, I was just taking like 3 pretty consistently.
Oh, well, that's
The glowing
much
sea,
lower. Yeah,
yeah, much higher than that.
glowing sea gives
Yeah.
you like a base of 10, like, and it goes
Mhm.
higher depending on where you run.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to carry around a lot of Radix and Radaway, and just use it sparingly. Actually, it's really not a big deal to me, but it is a minor thing. I think that people just aren't used to having to be constantly aware of. So I think that's where the annoyance comes in.
Yeah, it's
To me,
consistent, but I liked that
yeah,
part of it.
yeah. To me, I kind of like it. I like that it's a different kind of atmosphere. Although I've heard a lot of people complain that I think someone already mentioned this. I think it was you, Andrew. That it's not very different from the mainland, and I'm like, well, yes, it is.
No, yeah, I've heard people say that, but I think you know, it is in the same general geographic location in the country, so of course it will be similar. I mean, there are differences, but I think it's different enough to make it very interesting to run around in.
Exactly. I mean, like you mentioned, there's different vegetation. In fact, there is just vegetation in
Yeah,
general
exactly. Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, as I'm repeating myself here, and I'm sorry about that. But I mean, there's enough difference. Like even the wolves act a bit differently than like the wild mongrels. I think their attacks are much more quick to me and a lot more relentless. In fact, pretty much every mob on Far Harbor is a lot more ruthless and relentless in my mind than what's on the mainland right now. That doesn't mean that they're especially more difficult or whatever, um, because they all have their own weaknesses too, and you just need to figure that out and then exploit it, like with any mob you come across.
If you were being slowly exposed to radiation fog for an extended period of time, you'd be pissed off too.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
hard to deal with.
I guess
Okay,
so.
here's my little towers, my fog eaters. Oh, you're right. Okay, it's sucking in the fog. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I need to find out more information about this fog. Um, so we will bounce back into Far Harbor and get into the story here in a couple weeks, probably.
Hmm. Give everyone some time to just, steep themselves in it, go through some things, do some side quests. Oh, I would have to say my favorite location that I found so far is another movie theater drive-in place.
Yeah.
Have did you come across that?
Um, I if it is the same one I think you're talking about,
I think it's like
there's
Eden.
one here. The icon looks like the same one
Yeah, for the
from the
Starlight.
mainland,
Yeah.
except for
It's
I've found two already.
ooh. Well,
Two drive-in theaters, basically.
the one I'm talking about is on like kind of like the far western side of the map.
Eden
Uh,
Meadows
yes,
Cinemas.
Eden
Yes,
Meadow Cinemas.
I've cleared that one. I think I was sent there on a quest of some sort.
Oh, I'm going to avoid that quest for a long time then because right now I just enjoy showing up there and the difference between this one, the Eden versus the Starlight is that this one has a projector that's still running.
Oh
Which
yes, you are
yeah,
correct. I took a
and
couple of screenshots and it's awesome.
it is fantastic because there's a big gaggle of feral ghouls that are just hanging
Yeah.
out there.
They're
Grunt.
watching the movie.
They are watching the movie and they're just staring at the screen. And I've turned it off, and then they all just
They
kind of go.
turn and run at you.
Well, no, they didn't turn and run at me.
Oh,
They
they
had no
didn't.
idea what I was up there, but they all just kind of go, oh, and then they
Oh.
slowly. Oh, and they slowly shamble back, and I just played with that for a few minutes, turning
Oh,
it
that's
off and
fun.
on.
I'm actually there right now. Did I think I already killed them all though.
Well, they might
Oh,
respawn unless the area says cleared.
It does say cleared.
Oh, they're not gonna come back then.
I
Ever
want to see how
again.
close I can get to them if they even notice me or if they just keep watching the movie.
Oh man, I didn't play around with that. I was just
You should just get some popcorn and cuddle up next to one of them and hey buddy,
yeah.
here to watch a movie with you.
And then Nick, when he sees the movie, he's like, "Oh, I remember this one," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're also technically 200
Yeah,
years
you're
old
200 and
too."
some years old.
Oh yeah. Oh man, but that to me so far that's the coolest place I've found on the map, and I really haven't explored the map all that
It's really
much.
fun. Yeah, I probably found less than 10 locations, but that happened to be one of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I highly recommend that one for everyone, and I want to hear if you guys do anything fun with that too.
Blight. Okay, I just ran across some blight.
Hmm.
Looks like kind of like a golden glowing mushroom cap, sort of.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, something like that. It'll be interesting to see what I can cook up. I was running around town a little bit there, in Far Harbor.
Did you see a chemistry station? Because I still haven't
Oh, I was
found.
looking for a cooking station. I'm so dumb.
Oh, well, no. You
Probably.
you also wanted to cook the crawler meat too. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you cook the meat, but then you also I don't know, chemistry, the chemicals.
You chemistry the chemicals.
It's 11:30 at night. You leave me alone.
Yeah. Ooh, a house. Yes.
So
So
it sounds like we're all super enchanted with Far Harbor, and I think that's great.
Yeah, I've
I'm
played two
enjoying
hours
it.
and I love it so far.
Yeah.
Oh no, a glowing one.
I didn't even
Run.
want to start the missions. I just wanted to run around and explore.
Right? It's just kind of nice to take a minute to really enjoy what the developers put together, especially because it's such a big new area. And it's clear that they put a lot of thought into this, probably based on some feedback too that they got early on in the release of, just the vanilla Fallout 4. Maybe they were looking at things that did work and didn't work because I feel like in a lot of ways they really improved some things. I kind of feel like the trappers are a real improvement over the raiders, and the wolves are an improvement over the mongrels. I think the bunnies running around are awesome.
I can't wait to run into those guys.
Like, because so now we see bunnies, but we don't have any, like, random. it's not like the random squirrel or iguana bits. Like you don't you pick up that meat, but you don't see it
Yeah, you never see an
anywhere.
iguana.
Yeah. Well, no. What is the? I keep forgetting what the death claws are supposed to have
I
irradiated out
believe
of.
it's an irradiated gecko. I read
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. That could be totally wrong. But
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of
I remember reading it's some kind of cute little lizard that became this horrendous monster that nightmares are made of.
yeah, which is why for a while I was like, oh, that's the iguana where the iguana bits come from. But no, that's where you get death claw meat from. So
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah.
no idea. But here we've got bunnies, and so maybe we'll see some bunny meat stuff.
Bunny
I
meat.
bunny meat. Is there like a specific name for that? Because I know that there's venison for
Yes, it is the
deer.
Italian word for rabbit, which I am forgetting right now. But you know
Ah,
how like pork is for pig or
yeah,
whatever. And,
and
yeah,
beef
that's
is
the.
for
I forget what it
cow.
is. I think it begins with the letter P. I believe. I could be wrong though. Maybe C.
Huh.
I don't remember, but I believe it's just whatever the word for rabbit is in Italian. It
Okay.
kind of sounds like the word coney. You know,
Hmm.
because if you remember in Lord of the Rings, uh, Samwise Gamgee was going to fry up a brace of conies, and Gollum was like, what's conies?" He's like, "Rabbits, you know, toss them in a stew, bake them,
Oh
boil them."
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and then that totally grossed out Gollum. He's like,
yeah. He's like,
cook,
"Don't
bleh,
cook it." Yeah,
bleh,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
bleh.
Oh shit! I just ran into an angler. That's one we haven't mentioned yet.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay, I think
He's setting me on fire.
I I need to apologize because I was referring to them as the Mirelurks earlier when I mentioned,
Oh, okay, okay,
oh man,
okay.
they'll trigger and I'll see them there under the water, but then I won't trigger them if I'm this. So that I used Mirelurk then when I meant angler.
God, they are. Oh, there's an albino one. That's why I was like, why are they destroying me so quickly?
Yeah, I ran into a legendary albino one, and
Oh,
he
good
handed
lord.
my ass to me. He pretty much, yeah.
Hey, this might be a weird random reference, but are either of you old enough to remember the Liquid Television on MTV had the show called The Max, and then that had its. I think it became its own TV show on MTV for a while. It was an animated show called The Max, Maxx.
It sounds
No.
vaguely familiar, but it just makes me think of Max Headroom.
Oh yeah, nothing to do with that. But
Was that back
eh,
in the Eon Flux days?
yes, exactly. Like when Beavis and Butthead were on Liquid Television and stuff like that. But
Uh,
it got its own show, much like Beavis and Butthead started on there and got its own show. Uh, but anyway, there's the little bad guys in that show are called IDs or ISDs. I can't pronounce it. It's like IDZS or IDSZ or something.
mhm.
Anyway, long way of saying my favorite enemy so far that I've run across is the Gulper, which is one of the first things that you run across in the island, so it's not a huge, big spoiler. But the Gulper, to me, looks like a combination of like a Velociraptor and the IDS thing. They're kind of like an eyeless, just massive teeth, sort of like, I don't know, so creepy. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. I really
Ah.
like the Gulpers.
See, I still haven't seen them in like full light, so to me they're just this kind of black
Scary
shadow
God.
thing.
Yeah, they kind of are just a sort of. They seem like a shapeless.
Yeah, except it's
Like
kind of like a shapeless, slightly tadpole, gigantic tadpole up on two legs with some arms.
yeah. Oh,
I haven't
how do these angler guys work? I'm sitting here shooting at them when they haven't popped up yet. Can you hit them when they're
exactly,
underwater?
exactly.
I can't make
I
them
have,
pop up.
yeah, same. I've tried to, shoot them or
I'll throw
anything.
a grenade down there.
Like you can't. I actually did that too, and it didn't do a damn
Oh,
thing.
damn it.
You have to go all the way up to the edge, and then they wait a
Oh, those
second, and then they go, blah!
sons of bitches.
So you can just see like the glowing thing on top, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
sons of bitches. Oh, Tarberry Hey, that's great.
Yeah, hey, something familiar.
Yeah. Oh man, there's like 6 of these guys here. All right, sorry, you don't need to hear me talk on and on about this. So we give approving marks for Far Harbor. It seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Again, none of us have gotten too terribly far into it. Casey's avoiding the story. I am pretty much for the most part as well. But here in a couple weeks, we'll get back together again and do some story spoilers and get into what's going on with this mysterious fog and how to clear it out and see what's going on between these factions and stuff.
I'm super excited to find the synths, especially because of what we've seen of the one synth in the commercials, the advertisements. That it seems like it's got plugs all over its body and that sort of thing, and it just seems it kind of seems like it's like a tortured soul kind of thing. And so for me, I just kind of want to know what all that's about. I'm very excited about that part.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So, Casey, we'll have to have you back when we talk some more about Far Harbor.
Yeah, sounds good.
And I'd just like to thank you personally now that I have you here online. Thank you so much for being a steady participant in our roundtable this year for the Fallout Roundtable. You've been submitting feedback for all of our episodes, which has been great. A lot of people like to start out and people get excited about the project, but as you can tell, lots of people kind of fall off by the end. And you've been really dedicated to the project, and we really appreciate that. So thank you so much for sending in really great, valuable feedback, and I always enjoy listening to it. And the first time I heard one of your feedbacks, there's just something about the quality and timbre of your voice is like very soothing and very. I was like, we have to get this guy on the show because it sounds just really nice. I'd like to hear him speak for a while. So I'm glad that you're doing the feedback, and thank you so much for coming on the show with us tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. I was listening to the Skyrim ones, but I played Skyrim, but not heavily like you guys. But then when you got into Fallout, I was excited because Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games ever.
Nice. I got the Fallout bundle for the Xbox, and it came with Fallout 3, which I've never played, so I need to get into that too.
So then I beat Fallout 4 right about the time you were starting the round table, so it was a perfect timing to start a new character.
Nice. And you wrote me the other day, you said you finally finished up the story for the second time with your roundtable character.
Yes.
I just finished mine the other night too. And
I
it's
was,
a lot.
It's
pretty cool.
I thought that was lots of fun.
Yeah. The final 2 missions were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that more with the roundtable. And did you send feedback in for that yet? I don't remember.
No, not for the final.
Okay.
Not for
Well,
the
we'll
final
be waiting in anticipation to hear how your final few missions there went, Casey. So thanks again for coming on the show tonight. That was awesome.
You're welcome. It was nice to meet both of you.
Yeah, very much a pleasure. All right, well, I think we're wrapping up here. So for those of you who are interested, you can find us at our website, asapodcasting.com. You can also find us on Facebook. Just look up ASA Podcasting, a Skyrim Addict Podcast, and the Fallout Feed. We're also on Twitch sporadically, which we will announce usually on Twitter or on Facebook. And you can find us there, as we mentioned, at twitch.tv/ASA Podcasting. And then you can also find us on Twitter at the Fallout Feed. And you can also email us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Please send us questions, send us comments, send us feedback. We'd love to hear from you. We love participation. We hope to see you in future streams, and we'll see you out in the wasteland.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Quick closing note. Sorry, here real quick. Our roundtable season is ending very soon, and we are going to start a new season of the roundtable.
Yay!
Which will include, we're tentatively right now. We're still kind of planning out, but it'll most likely be a Far Harbor Automatron and Wasteland Workshop concentrated season. So if anyone out there is interested in doing a play along, please send us an email to falloutroundtable@gmail.com, and we will get you signed up with some random attributes so you can be in the Fallout Roundtable for next year or next season to give us feedback, and we'll include in the show. And then you can be like Casey and maybe get invited onto the normal show sometime. Come on and talk, everyone. So it's been great. Sorry for tacking this onto the end. See you in the wasteland.
See you in the wasteland. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.